Certainly, you were talking about, I asked you a question about how much of goods manufactured in Nigeria pass through borders.
Or vice versa.
Okay, charity begins at home. I think the ones that comes to mind immediately would be cement. We have a lot of bulk cement that goes to the sub-region. We have tobacco products. We have tobacco. There's a lot of cigarettes that goes to the sub-region. We have beverages, water, soft drinks, beer. Then there are lots of smaller categories of goods like plastics, soaps, detergents, and all of that. So the intention of this is to create additional markets for goods that are produced and that can be traded within the sub-region.
And the goods that are leaving through the Nigerian border out into the sub-region, there's no tariff on them?
Well, because of our obligations under the ETLS, they also do not charge any duty on that. So they have zero
tariff.
Zero tariff.
But the Nigerian
it is open in a way. And we also take a number of things from them. From Ghana, I know we take a lot of aluminium. We take a lot of fabrics. You take oil from Cote d'Ivoire. We take fabrics.
What kind of oil? Palm oil.
Red oil, palm oil.
Okay.
We take a lot of palm oil from those.
Even though we have
import palm oil?
Even though we have palm oil.
The dynamics of trade is such that if you want something like a kind of just-in-time delivery, you are manufacturing soap and you want a particular kind of oil and things like that, you may have preference for those from Abidjan. And then you might find out that it might take a lesser time for you to get it from Abidjan to your factory in Ogun State than it will take from Ebonyi or whatever. Manufacturers are free to source their raw materials and because it is duty-free.
Okay, but the other question I wanted to ask is, why is it that the importers or exporters look like they prefer to use the Cotonou ports instead of our own ports? What makes our ports unattractive?
I think you have to start from the days before our ports were concessioned, before the port reforms of 2004, 2005. Generally, our ports were known not to be as user-friendly as Cotonou ports. We didn't have any deep sea ports. Our ports are just there. The drafts are not as deep as what you have in our neighboring ports. And then port users talk about the charges, that possibly Nigerian importers pay more in our ports than they do in neighboring ports. We also have to talk about procedures, the processes that are not automated then. But since 2005, 2006, we've had regimes of automation in our processes. It has taken less time to get things out of the ports. And then the concession arrangements, though, it was a little bit trickish at the beginning, but with time, the ports started getting their feet. If you go into Apapa port now, you will see that it was not as rowdy as it used to be. Things are a little bit more organized than what we had before. So I would say the process, the efforts to make our ports more user-friendly is a continuous effort. The same investors who are investing in our ports are the same investors who are investing in the neighboring ports. So I would say it's a continuous process. But I'm saying that there are also some people who deliberately, they don't have any other reason apart from the fact that they want to evade correct payment of duties. That would be why they would prefer neighboring ports. There could be some genuine reasons, but for a good number of them, talk about rice. There's no reason why you want to dump rice in such volumes in the Republic of Benin where we know it is not consumed. The intention is to smuggle them.
Can I take you up on that?
Yes, please.
What I can deduce from what you have just said, therefore, is that duties are higher in Nigeria than in Benin Republic.
No, it's an open fact. The duties are, every country has its own tariffs. You know, we run the same HS, the classification. We run the same. In West Africa, we're also supposed to implement the same common external tariff, but for reasons best known to our neighbors, you know, the Francophones amongst them, they prefer to subscribe to the common external tariff imposed on them by UEMOA. That's the economic grouping of the former French colonies. So you have the Benins, the Togos, the Cote d'Ivoire, they all subscribe to the same UEMOA CEF, which is lower than what we charge, than what we agreed with as the ECOWAS common external tariff. This is the bone of contention.
Yeah, so won't discussing the matter and making it uniform be easy, make life easier for everybody?
Yeah, it's convergent, and it's really, really very difficult, and it will take a long time. If you see what is happening in Europe, even those advanced economies, they're not seeing a common ground. You know, some of them have agreed to work together for 40, 50 years, and then suddenly they say, oh, we are no longer working together because they couldn't find a common ground on issues like immigrations, like agric, like, you know, like physical policies. This is exactly what is playing out here. We are disagreeing now. With time, we come together again, we agree on a number of things.
But what is the essence of ECOWAS then?
Well, ECOWAS is the umbrella body for 15 developing countries that have a number of different challenges. You know, the challenge in Nigeria is that we need fiscal economic policies that guarantees jobs for millions of unemployed Nigerians. They might not have that challenge in Niger. They might not have that challenge in Cote d'Ivoire or any other country. So this is why Nigerian government have said, okay, let us have a protectionist approach that says, whatever we can produce in Nigeria, don't import it.
Please just hold your thoughts. Austin from Okota. Hello, Austin. Hello, Austin.
I'm watching you. I'm seeing the theory on TV. We have a program report now as I'm talking. This program, I want the theory to comment on it about the fast track. The decision the CG has taken on fast track is killing the industry. Now, he's taking on fast track. The principle of fast track is to bring all the loads within 2 days. Containers will go out of the port. But now, this decision they have taken in the port now that all fast track jobs should go to FOU. Now, the industry is thinking that this decision. I want the chairman to comment on it because if one agent, if somebody an importer does a thing, and he finds it, that does not mean that all the other people should be put to shame, or other agents should be put to ransom.
Well, thank you, Austin. I don't know if you can, I wasn't hearing clearly about something about FOU and your arrangement. Meanwhile, just before the Pierre answers, I'd like to remind you, please, if you're making a phone call, turn down the volume of your television set or move away from it completely, and so that we can hear you clearly. So
I'm not very sure. I had FOU, I had containers. Only containers that have trouble go to FOU.
What is FOU, please?
It's Federal Operations Unit.
Okay.
Fast track.
It's fast tracking?
Yeah, I heard him talk about fast track, and that is the decision that the CG took on fast track is killing the industry.
Then I think I get a picture of what he's saying. When containers are fast tracked, it means that there are some companies that enjoy some concessions. If they are manufacturers, for example, they bring in machinery, they bring in raw materials. We don't want to subject them to the same treatment that people who are manufacturing, who are importing finished products. So they give them the concession of a fast track. Their containers, you know, are stripped from the ship.